Tide at 9:26 a.m. Low tide at 3:24 p.m. this afternoon.
This is the ZNS Network, providing radio and high-definition television services for the entire Bahamas. ZNS Network is operated by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. It is located at Harcourt Rusty Bethel Drive, Centerville, Nassau. Our programming is designed to inform, educate, and entertain. We invite you to join us.
The following is a preamble of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Whereas 481 years ago, the rediscovery of this family of islands, rocks and keys, heralded the rebirth of the New World. And whereas the people of this family of islands, recognizing that the preservation of their freedom will be guaranteed by a national commitment to self-discipline, industry, loyalty, unity, and an abiding respect for Christian values and the rule of law. Now, know we therefore, we the inheritors of and successors to this family of islands, recognizing the supremacy of God and believing in the fundamental rights and freedoms of the individual, do hereby proclaim in solemn praise the establishment of a free and democratic sovereign nation, founded on spiritual values, and in which no man, woman, or child shall ever be slave or bondsman to anyone, or their labor exploited, or their lives frustrated by deprivation, and do hereby provide by these articles for the indivisible unity and creation under God of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Thursday, June 30th, 2022, and the morning edition is alive. On today's show, another homicide on the streets of the capital. Gas prices down at Esso. Our athletes continue to gear for the World Championships, and we'll give you some tips on healthier living. So let's start the morning off right.
The Morning Edition is brought to you by We Buy, You Sell Company, your leading hurricane impact windows, doors, and tile specialist.
A positive attitude will lead to a positive outcome. Good morning, everybody. I'm Charles Fisher. Thanks for waking up with us for the morning edition this morning. A day away from Friday. I can't wait. Well, on today's show, we're going to tell you some of the things that's coming up on our independence celebration. But before we get to all of that, let's take it out to the streets where our Crystal Daly is standing by with our morning traffic. Much better weather than yesterday.
In-house download. Cut.
Stand by. Then let's look at what's happening weather-wise. We are waking up to 79 degrees, cloudy, winds east-southeast at 10 miles per hour, humidity 89%. On upper level, low just west of the area will continue to exit westwards as high pressure builds across the islands in its wake for the northwest Bahamas, weather partly to mostly sunny, hot and breezy, with a chance of a few isolated showers and thunderstorms mainly during the afternoon. Mostly fair and warm and bit breezy tonight. For the central and southeast Bahamas, weather mostly sunny, hot and breezy to windy, with a slight chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm today. Mostly fair, warm and breezy with possible stray shower tonight. Your daytime high temperature 90 degrees Fahrenheit, overnight low of 75. And as you can look at our tower cam over the Nassau Harbor, one ship is coming in and one ship is already in. We also see the Defense Force boat out there, so it's a pretty good day. Might want to go out boating today because the weather is much better than it was yesterday. And as we look ahead to what's going to happen for Friday and Saturday, Friday, expect a thunderstorm in spots, 88 in the day, 78 at night. And then on Saturday, it'll be breezy in the morning, expect a shower sometime throughout the day, 88 in the day, 80 at night. And now let's go back to our traffic.
Good morning, Fisher, and good morning, Bahamas. We're here on Madeira Street, where we can see traffic is starting to trickle in on this very busy Thursday morning. Good morning. I'm here with Officer Patrick Kemp. Good morning, Officer Kemp.
Good morning, Crystal. And before we go on further, you know what we like to do? Let everything that has breath.
Praise the Lord.
Oh, good, great. Today is a good day.
Yes.
Good morning, Bahamas.
Okay, so we're in this area. We know that it's high traffic area, especially in the middle of the day. But we want to talk this morning a little bit about some street markings that are in this area, because sometimes when it gets congested, people tend to throw all the laws to the wayside. So what are some offenses that tend to happen that you witness in this area?
Well, one of the main issues, especially on Madeira Street, and like Madeira Street, you have Robertson Road. It's pretty much the same. Prince Charles, we know we have a concern with Prince Charles in terms of speed. But Madeira Street, that runs from Marquis Street to Montrose Avenue. The issue is, if you notice, there's a lot of markings. There's about 20 arrows on this road that are indicating for drivers to turn, whether it's south or north to a business establishment or to a business establishment, right? The issue we have here is that persons tend to ride up the middle lane, and that's an offense that we call failing to keep left. That's a big problem. If you notice, all of these exits are off on Madeira Street. It's for persons who are going to their various destinations. But here it is now, you have vehicles that are traveling up the middle lane. Most likely, you're going to cause an accident because of the manner in which you're driving. And I want to caution the drivers so that to please pay attention to all and any street markings that are on the road. They're there for your safety and to get persons to their various destinations. I have a serious problem because when persons are going to their destination and here comes a driver with the blue, shooting up the middle lane, gets in an accident, and then when I have to argue with the other person.
No, yeah, that I witness that often in this area. And, you know, you mentioned the markings in the road, but we know we've had quite a bit of rain over the past couple of days, and this area tends to flood sometimes. So what do you do if you're not very familiar with the area and there's water in the road and you can't really see the markings?
I expect you to use good judgment and common sense. I expect you to know that during the time of the day in which you're driving, the area of which you're driving, to still exercise caution. Is very important for the drivers so that they drive with due care and attention. We have a lot of unnecessary accidents that happens on the streets because persons are not focused. I'll give you this example before we leave. There was an accident that I recommend proceedings against somebody that was on Robertson Road heading west. A driver came out of Lincoln Boulevard to cross on the northern side. Accident occurred. The reason why that driver was charged, and I recommend this proceeding, is because they decided that they wanted to shoot up the middle lane while passing their turn to make a turn on the northern side of Lincoln, onto Lincoln Boulevard. I made the case before the courts, and the courts agreed that that driver should be charged because of the way and the manner in which that driver was driving. He should have made his turn. Had he did that, an accident could have been avoided. It's the same here on Madeira Street. We have persons who were shooting up the middle lane from Madeira to Montrose, and from Montrose to going in the direction of Marquis Street with no care in the world. So I want to caution the drivers that to please pay attention to the street signs and the street markings. They're there for your safety.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Officer Kemp. Back to you in the studio, Fisher. A shooting reported by police overnight in the Peardale Road area has resulted in the death of a male resident believed to be in his late 20s. The incident occurred shortly before 8 p.m.
On the arrival of our officers, they were directed to the rear of a apartment complex, and next to a fence they found a male lying on the ground with wounds that we believe that were gunshot wounds. Our investigations thus far indicates to us that the male was seated at the front of the apartment in a vehicle when he was approached by two gunmen who shot him, and then he managed to get out of the vehicle and run behind the building where they continued firing at him, and he then succumbed to his injuries.
A sigh of relief for many motorists fueling up at Esso service stations. There's a welcome change in gas prices, which for the first time in weeks have dipped, going from $7.39 a gallon to $6.96.
Gas is bought in the futures market. We were able to get a good shipment of gas from our wholesalers going forward. Summer driving and more oil production are being ramped up by the big boys in the United States and around the world. Hopefully that would be a trend that prices might start to drop.
The drop in local gas prices, no surprise to the Prime Minister, the Honourable Philip Davis. He says Caribbean leaders have long voiced their concerns.
Both at the Summits of America and at Shogun, the issue of energy security became very large in our discussions. So, for example, the voices of SIDS were being heard about the sanctions being placed on Venezuela. And we're now seeing movements to relieve the sanctions so that the Venezuelan oil and other related products could now be exported from Venezuela. So our voices are being heard in respect to that. Trinidad, for example, they have a reserve of gas which was being stagnated because of the relationship they have with Venezuela. We have made strong representations to the U.S. to lift the sanctions in respect to that, and we hope to see that move very soon.
A number of noteworthy cases to date remain unheard. The main issue is spacing, or lack thereof.
It's been difficult to conduct these inquests at the same pace that we would normally do because we cannot physically distance. Typically, in the inquest, you have a panel, you have social services, you have the parties, you have the lawyers, and then you have family members. I did submit some recommendations to the Attorney General earlier in the year about certain changes to the legislation, which I think would make us more productive and would allow us to hit the backlog in a more effective way.
We're always looking, as the Chief Justice indicated, for more suitable locations for all of our courts. And to the point on a central court facility, going into this fiscal year, we look to appoint a project team between the Office of the Attorney General and the Judiciary to start putting that together so we could hopefully be in a place by the next fiscal year to be able to source some funding to start advancing that project.
Hurricane-battered residents of Abaco and Grand Bahama finally have something to look forward to. Government is preparing to relaunch its small homes repair program in the coming weeks.
We hope to relaunch very shortly. The last part is we're waiting on finance to provide funding. That is just about in place. And like I said, we had issues with the way the processes that were in place before, so we wanted to correct those processes, put our new process in place to make sure that that the repairs and the help gets to those that need it the most.
There are new developments at the Department of Labor, all aimed at significantly improving the agency's service to the public. This includes an increase in staff.
25 persons were hired for the newly established Rapid Response Unit, the newly established Communication Unit, and to enhance the Occupation Health and Safety and Special Project Unit. That unit is primarily responsible for the enforcement of the statutes related to industrial relations in the Bahamas. So they were the people who would go and conduct inspections on the job site, the people who go to ensure that the employers are following the rules whenever there are complaints to talk about whether foreigners are doing certain things in the Bahamas, and we needed the additional staff to ensure that that unit becomes more efficient and more productive.
Awesomely, this is a beautiful experience. I can't lie. This is my first time doing this sort of charity work, and I mean, it feels good to help out, you know. There's a Can Drive coming up and other initiatives are part of the Giving a Helping Hand campaign, and I encourage anyone that's willing to lend their support in any way, shape, or form to come through and give of your time.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wanda Rogers.
Hi, I'm Dr. Manish Sharma.
Hi, I'm Dr. Valencia Johnson, Director of Ambulatory Services at Doctors Hospital.
I'm the Director of Imaging at Doctors Hospital.
I'm a pediatrician here at Doctors Hospital. I am vaccinated against COVID-19.
I'm fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
I am fully vaccinated against COVID. Are you?
Are you?
Are you?
Well, today is the last day in the month of June, and then comes July, and you know what that means? Independence, National Independence, July 10th. But the festivities will get underway tomorrow, and joining me in studio this morning is Jack Thompson. He's the Permanent Secretary, and also Assistant Commissioner Craig Stubb of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Gentlemen, thanks for waking up with us, and welcome to the morning edition.
Thank you very much.
That's a good morning.
Sorry I didn't have none of that mustard and cornflakes breakfast that you say you wanted. But the festivities gets underway tomorrow. Tell us about it.
Yes, tomorrow, as you said a few minutes ago, it's we start July 1st. Tomorrow, July 1st, Independence Month. And so at 9 a.m. sharp, all of our government agencies, officers, all of our corporate entities or establishments will participate in our National Pride Day flag raising ceremony at 9 a.m. sharp. So wherever there's a flagpole, we ask all the persons to gather around the flagpole. We hoist the flag while we sing the national anthem. We recite our pledge, and then after that, we are prayers for our nation.
We want everybody to get to work on time.
We want everyone to get work ahead of time so that we can start at 9 a.m. sharp. We want all the flags. And this is through the entire Bahamas.
I know we're doing it here at the Broadcasting Corporation in conjunction with BIS tomorrow. Got the email, so 9 o'clock tomorrow. Workers, please get to work on time Friday. You like to leave early on Friday, but come to work early on Friday. And then on Sunday, Craig, it's the beat retreat.
Yes, on Sunday, the beat retreats will be at on the Bay Street, Parliament and Royston Square, where we'll have, it starts at 5 p.m. We asking all spectators to be in place. There are going to be some traffic, some road closures, traffic diversion. We ask to be respectful to those issues or those in place, management tech that we're going to implement, and enjoy the beat retreat where we have the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force will be performing, and it's going to be a good event.
I may just add, if I may, in addition to the Royal Bahamas and Police Force bands, we have the All-Star Youth Band and the Urban Renewal. So we have two youth bands. Well, I better be careful, but we have two younger bands in there, and we have the traditional Defense Force and the police band. So 4 bands.
49 years of independence. What are all the activities planned for this year? Because I know we're going to go big out next year.
Oh yeah, next year. Well, this is just a tip of what is going to happen. Next year's big. Next year's huge. But we also have a distinguished lecture series on Tuesday at the Harry B. Moore Library. We have as our distinguished lecturer the evangelist Rex Major. He is the last surviving person who was around that flagpole when the flag was hoisted. The Union Jack was lowered and the Bahamian flag. And so he's going to be our distinguished lecturer. That's going to be at 7 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon. We're also pleased to say that on Saturday night is the traditional flag raising ceremony at Clifford Park. And then on Sunday, we will announce the recipients for the National Honors. You know, by virtue of the National Honors Act, His Excellency the Governor General is required by law to announce the names of those persons who've been so identified by the National Advisory Honors Committee, and they will receive their medals in October. And then on Sunday night, there is the Grand Gospel Concert, Clifford Park. And so we're expecting that to be a wonderful opportunity. And then on Monday morning at 12, there is the People's Rush at Junkanoo. And that, I tell you, that's going to be huge. They normally honor several icons in the Junkanoo area, and that is going to happen at that time as well.
So it's busy Independence activities coming up in July, and you are going to be pretty busy as well.
Yes.
Making sure that everybody stays safe, and police is also going to do a lot of activities as well.
Most definitely. As the Secretary stated earlier, tomorrow at the police headquarters, our flag raising ceremony will be in the form of changing of the guard. So that starts promptly at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then we go into the ecumenical service. The guards will be representing from all law enforcement entities at the Clifford Park, and His Excellency will do inspection. It would not be the common patrouille as we used to see in the past, but for next year, oh yeah, we're going to be much larger and bigger with our law enforcement entities. And then the People's Love and Unity Rush Out. That starts promptly at 12 midnight. There's a ceremony prior to the rush out. And yesterday I was in passing, and I heard a group of individuals sitting down talking, and a young man say, "Man, I'm starving for Junkanoo." So if it's any indication what we saw for the Labor Day parade, we know it's going to be a big event for Bahamians as related to Junkanoo. And then the highlights Sunday will definitely be the beach retreat.
We definitely want Bahamians to show their pride, because for the last 2-3 years we weren't able to come out like
this. That's right. We were, due to the COVID, we were kind of tapped. But right now we're and I just wish to say that all of the protocol safety measures will be observed at all of these events. And so we're going to do our best to make sure we're wearing our facial masks, we sanitize, etc., etc. I'm pleased to also say, you know, the Babe Ruth Baseball
World
you're aware of that.
Yeah, it will be held during the same time.
Absolutely.
Swim Nationals, so a lot of activities around.
Absolutely.
The Independence, but I'm looking forward to 50 next year. I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, grand, super grand. Yeah.
And I know, Stubbs, you cannot wear the... but Jack didn't give us the memo that we were supposed to dress up in our Independence colors already. And you see, he's already...
He's down to guard his own, yes. So tomorrow we'll encourage all Bahamians for the duration of this month, July, to adorn the Bahamian colors. Be patriotic. Let us show our love for our country. This is us. This is how we do it.
All right, thanks a lot, gentlemen. Yes. I'll be seeing a lot of you guys over the next few weeks. Happy Independence. It is the last day in June, and we're all looking forward to July. Well, 30 young persons are the newest graduates of the Fresh Start program operated by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. The program for youth ages 16 through 25 is an employment skills training initiative geared to afford young prospective professionals with the resources, information, and tools needed for successful employment and job retention. On Wednesday evening, the group were joined by friends and family at Christ the King Anglican Church for the official ceremony.
So many opportunities have been opened for our young people. I look in the audience this evening and I see hope, I see perseverance, I see commitment, I see dedication. The goal of this program is to prepare you for employment, identify potential employment opportunities, improve your personal qualities, qualifications, and your job search skills. From the testimonies that we've heard already this evening, those goals have been achieved.
The Fresh Start program has stretched us, molded us, and equipped us to succeed in a working world.
I got involved in the program simply to just explore my abilities, explore what I'm capable of, being able to find something that suits me.
I wanted a change in my life, so I felt like it was over. But when I got into the program, I found it was something better.
We get to learn about different cultural backgrounds and it allowed us the opportunity to express ourselves more, which was very essential.
I took up the course of mixology, and it was a bit challenging, but I still overcome it. I had obstacles. We learned about exceptional customer service and how to just treat customers as one.
More than 30 eager young Bahamians also graduating from the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture's Job Ready program. The spring cohort spent 9 weeks learning important job-related skills and interning at some of the country's most prestigious organizations. Marley Johnson was among the standout performers.
My experience in the Job Ready program was really great, and I was so thankful for the opportunity because before the Job Ready program, I was one of those students who was affected by the COVID-19 pandemic who couldn't go off to school. So I found myself looking for a job, and then I got accepted into the Job Ready program, and I was so thankful for all of the experience and all the new people I got to meet. Yes, I got to meet a lot of new people. I'm an extrovert, so a lot of the people who I met were introverts, and I got to break them out of their shell. So I'm happy I got to change people and experience new people and experience new skills.
Post-graduation anxiety can bring out unwanted stress. This morning, our Krista Darling speaks to a therapist who offers some words of encouragement.
I'll figure it out because I don't think none of us did.
Words of advice for graduating students from marriage and family therapist and CEO of Richardson Psychotherapeutic and Consulting, Dr. Edrika Richardson. She explains that as graduates prepare to transition into the next stage of higher learning or their professional lives, the willingness to survey the landscape of possibilities and opportunities can help to reduce tension and anxiety.
Think through and explore all the possibilities. For some people, it may be going off to college or staying locally for college. It may be looking at internship positions to figure out what they would want to do. It may also be trying to look for a job to get that work experience. I think it's about opening up and remaining curious about which explorations you can do or want to try.
Richardson says that stepping into this new chapter of one's life with the attitude of being open to learning is crucial.
One of the things about getting into that stage of adulting is realizing that you don't have everything figured out the first time. And if you are open and willing to learn along and explore and willing to know that maybe the first idea that you had, because of you look at a lot of maybe older people, they are in their second careers now. It's because they thought they wanted to do something initially. They maybe even went to college for it, and then they changed their minds, and that's okay. And I think we have to normalize that it's okay to change your mind and not have all the answers right away, because sometimes I think that's what creates more anxiety when we feel like we have to know everything.
For those who feel like they may have fallen short, Richardson says, don't give up. There are many ways to get where you want to go.
Maybe it's time to take a step back and evaluate exactly how you're doing what you think you want to do. Have you exhausted all options? Have you made a list? Have you reached out to people who can potentially be your mentors? Because sometimes maybe it's not about getting the exact job, but it's about learning the steps to get to that position. And sometimes when you have a mentor, they can help guide you on the right steps or connect you in the right networks to put you in positions to get you to where you want to be. If you take a step back and you really start to see, have I looked at all angles of this? Maybe we'll come up with a new way to get to the same goal.
The 2022 season is wrapping up quickly, and with that, another cohort prepares to be the next in line to graduate. But whether it's this year or the next, these principles remain the same. Keep an open mind, embrace career training opportunities, and if at first you don't succeed, try again.
And as we head to the break, we take a look back at today in Bahamian history. On June 30th, 1966, popular American entertainer Roy Hamilton arrived in Nassau from New York for 2 performances at the Sheraton British Colonial Hotel. Also on this day, in 1974, Vice President of the Senate Milo Butler Jr. resigned his post and was named Bahamas Consul General to Miami. World Track and Field Championships all set for next month in Oregon. And with just a few weeks left, Shawnee Miller-Uibo will be making the best of it.
Just training. We're just going to go back to training and kind of get sharp for the champs and just be ready when it comes. We're going to go back and we're going to talk things over, Coach. But for right now, the main focus is the 400. We want to make sure that we get that gold medal, but we'll see.
And Bahamians, make sure to savor the world's 400 because it's going to be one of the last times Shawnee contests this event.
Because I've accomplished so much in the event, and I'm putting it to rest. The last thing that we're missing is just this 400 world title, and from there we can actually start to focus on some of the events. Just being a 400-meter run, it's a difficult event itself, and so we weren't able to train for other things, just plainly the 400. So I like to dabble in a few different things and just have some fun my last few years.
Anthony Strachan has had one of the best years since she was a world junior champ. The reason?
The turnaround for me this season was just basically controlling my injuries and having trust in my coach and staff and things like that, because I am a very stubborn person and I don't trust easily.
He's a two-team
So being stubborn and not trusting people,
All-American at the 200 meters and 100 meters. Let's welcome to the stadium, Clemson.
It's awesome. I feel as if I'm in a better headspace than previous years. I'm in better condition. I'm trusting my body finally. And I'm able to listen there too, so I'm excited.
As for her doing the double at the World,
I don't know what yet, but for now, yes. It's going to be hectic. I'm basically going to run every day for my start.
He's collected.
Every day for my start, I'm going to be running. I just have to sort of keep my mind clear.
Let's welcome to the stadium.
Take it one day, one round at a time.
and they say you are what you eat, so balancing diet and exercise is essential for overall health and fitness. Here's somebody who's trying to get in shape, Crystal Darling.
They say you can't outrun a bad diet. That said, let's find out what we should be eating to maintain those fitness goals.
Our input, which is our food, should equal our output, which is our exercise. And if we're inputting and we're not moving and we're not exercising, we're going to gain weight, which increases our risk for every disease, for cancer, for diabetes, for high blood pressure, all of those things. So we need to make sure that we're getting ample exercise so that we would be able to use up that fuel that we're putting in as food.
According to Better Living Health Center dietitian Dr. Ida Mae Hanna, here's what should be kept and what should be ditched.
You go right back to what God gave in the beginning: fruits, nuts, and grains. These are the food that feed our system. We used to hear the thing about 5 a day for good health, like 5 fruits and vegetables for good health. That is past. It's 7 to 9 servings a day. Another thing we need to be careful with is the cholesterol. The cholesterol is only found in animal foods. If you're going to eat meat, your protein should be only a quarter of your plate, which is the size of a deck of cards or the palm of your hand.
As many of us can attest, carb-rich meals are pretty addictive, and therein lies the problem.
Make sure that if it's a grain product, it has at least 2 to 3 grams of fiber per serving. If it's a cereal, it needs to have at least 3 grams of fiber. We like the sugar pops and sugar loops and all those kinds of things. When you look at the ingredients, many of them don't have any fiber. Then sugar is the first thing on the list. And sugar is something that it causes the immune system not to work very well for you.
Hannah says that discipline and finding the right balance between diet and exercise will set you well on your way on the fitness journey.
Well, that's going to do it for this morning. One more day before my partner in crime, LaDawn, returns from that big vacation over there in Harbour Island. She'll be back on Monday, so I'll be single for one more day. But be sure to stay tuned for news as it happens, TV and radio updates throughout the day. Then you can tune into the Northern Edition at 6:30 and the Bahamas Tonight at 7 o'clock. Good morning, everybody. Have a great day. Hope you have a better day than you did yesterday.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's